the reptiles. And so it's, it's either one or the other. I don't know, I can't say what. I think eventually humanity will either have to oust the reptiles altogether, or they will work with them, but there's not going to be, in other words, they're going to have to stop shape-shifting. And this is something that well, it's a little bit more difficult than that, okay, because I haven't talked about this yet, but many of my web pages deal with the entire solar system being inhabited and showing you people on Mars, pterodactyls, snakes, lizard people on all the planets. And I studied with Dr. Malin from NASA at ASU. So I was in the advanced planetary sciences classes. So I got to, first of all, I got to question him and where he was at, which he's been one to try to contain everything and to keep, people from knowing what's going on. But when we're talking about the solar system being inhabited, many of the ships, yes, they come from Orion, they come from other places on what we call the Peshmerton Highway through to the center of the galaxy. The center of the galaxy is supposed to be the great number, 57 octaves of C below the black hole, and that's where they get the number 57 whenever they want to kill someone. As an example,
so if
I'm going to black hole you, or I'm going to put you in the black hole of disappearing, so you won't bother me. This is what the reptiles do.
Well,
so it's not. This is a galactic war. Does that make sense?
Well, but
it's not going to be like, if first of all, if the Orion Queens really, they do come here. They do come here, and they come here through the comets. The comet ships are what we call protocol ships, and they're all inhabited. You may think of there's this great, beautiful comet, going by Halley's or whatever, but it's full of all types of beings, especially the reptilian, and they use the natural highways of the, galaxy to travel, and they live in these comets, and they live in these enormous spaceships. And I put some of them on my website so you can see what they look like, the beings. There's war. One page I have even David Icke picked up on was one of the snake ships was being blasted, and a lot of the snakes inside the ship had to flee in smaller vessels. It was a war. It was the ships were blasting each other, literally.
Well,
and the snakes had to flee. So the humans and what I call the intergalactic empire, or whatever you want to call it, I don't like the word federation, does kick butt with the reptiles, and they don't like it either. So
you mentioned snakes on a ship, but wasn't there a movie called Snakes on a Plane? Was that maybe based?
Well, of course they're going to do anything they can to make humanity frightened of them. Sure.
Well, I mean, you would never think you would never think Snakes on a Plane would actually be a topic of the title of a movie, but there it is. Perhaps in some ways Hollywood is sort of letting out. I mean, you mentioned some other things earlier in the first broadcast, in the first hour, and I was thinking, is that art imitating life or revealing what's really happening out there through some of these alien type movies?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's many snakes in UFO craft, many lizards, and all kinds of beings. Some of them I'm not even sure what they are, to be honest. I've looked at them and I don't know. They have their own construct as far as a being. But yes, but the problem is even deeper than that, in the sense of so often therefore we say to each other, oh, this isn't a movie, it can't be real.
But yet,
and this is how they control us also, by saying, if we say, oh, I saw this person shapeshift in this movie, well, that was a movie. That can't happen in reality. Well, of course, then the person is put down, and even the person that has seen people shapeshift. I have a very good friend that saw the prince of Sweden shapeshift. They often, for those of us that are warriors against them, they will shapeshift in front of us so that they simply say, you either come with us or else.
Wow.
And work for us.
Yeah.
And those of us that, some of the dragon slayers this has happened to.
Well, I like that term.
It's been war.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, Barbara, I don't know. You probably don't know. Maybe you do. But in a couple of weeks, this broadcast with you is excellent because in 2 weeks we're going to be having Joanne Richards of the Earth Defense Network, who talks about this very thing about intergalactic battles, and that we've evidently been battling aliens for some time. But let me ask you something. We were talking the first hour about the use of the name of Jesus and fighting off, and you said that it puts great fear of them, just like an owl would, almost as much fear as an owl would. But why don't names say like if you're being attacked by a reptile, why can't you say Obama or Mohammed? Why won't those names? Everybody catch that, Obama? Why can't you use those names? They don't seem to have any effect. Is that because they're not based on anything that is truth?
Well, what you're doing is when you say the name Jesus or Yesu or something like that, you're implying that you already know that they're, we've got the goods on you. You know what I mean? We know what you are. We know that you've lied. We know that you've, in other words, that we're confronting them. Okay? And another name, in other words, I don't know that Obama has confronted the reptiles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't.
Has he? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying the use. I'm just saying the use of certain names.
Say this. I would like to say this when you have an O word, the word Om, as an example, for meditation.
Yeah.
They're very crafty. They've used all the religions, including meditation, to put you into an area of theirs. Om means 7 plus 4, which is 11, 7-11. And their bloodline is copper. Reptiles have more copper in their blood, whereas our blood is iron. And so very often, like their game of golf, the game of golf in numerology, the Asaru numerology means 3, 7, 3, 8. And those oddities are 3, 7, 11, or 1, 1, 1, 3, in other words, 11, totally 11.
Okay.
They love the game of golf. It means...
Okay. The aliens love to play golf?
Pardon?
The aliens like to play golf?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Their game of golf, St. Andrews in Scotland, is built on the reptilian Templar heritage, and the Templars... The real Templars were reptilian, the big ones.
I wonder if you can get a par 57.
I'm not saying the little ones were, but the big ones that we know in history were.
Yeah, well, I'm not a golf expert, but I wonder if you can get a par 57. That could be some kind of code word.
Sure, of course it is. Of course it is. The same thing with on the. They have an X cross on their emblem in St. Andrews, and that's the 72. Which 72 degrees and the 72 holes, or what is it? The 72. Anyway, I have a whole page on that. You can read about St. Andrews, which is on the 33rd degree.
Well, okay, Barbara, you pricked my memory there. You said Om. I remember that the Beatles had a song called "Nothing's Going to Change My World," and they go Jagaroo Deva, then they go Om. Have you heard that?
Right. Right. So Om, what you're doing essentially is it's like the word home, but you're really putting in Om, which is 11, their bloodline.
Yeah.
11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11.
Well, the question really is, was Paul the Walrus? I don't know. Okay, so we have these shapeshifters, and you say you're not part of the war, but really you sort of are. I mean, isn't there always an information specialist in a war that brings information to people so they may fight the war coherently?
Sure.
So perhaps you have your part in that war?
I hope I am. I mean, I hope I've done a little bit, like others, to help us understand what's going on. Yes, I do. I am a warrior in a sense, but I hate war, like we all do.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to see the continuation how things have been on the planet. I want things to change, like we all do. And of course, this is why right now the center of the war is really probably even more than Baghdad, it's here, it's in America. They have to take us down. We're the only, right now, civilization or country on the planet that can confront them. And that's why they got the money out of America to they literally stole it out of America to, start the enterprises in China, India.
Yeah.
But the war is here. They have to take America down because we're the strongest and we